So today I'm just going to show you a few basics on how to use a normal handsaw, also sometimes known as a panel saw. First off, most saws can be used left or right handed. This particular saw is actually handed for the right hand only. So to hold the saw, take it in your hand, and then you want to take your first finger and point it along the side of the saw. This is the correct way to hold a panel saw. I'll generally measured in something called TPI, which is tooth per inch. The higher this number, the more teeth it has, and generally for a finer finish cut. Saws do actually have built into them a 90 degree and a 45 degree that you can use for marking out. Although I do this when doing, say, stud work or something, it doesn't have to be super accurate. You're always better using a square for marking out any cuts. Once you've got your desired length, strike across the line, and then you want to put a line down the front face and the back face so you can ensure that you're keeping entirely square. Always put the pencil onto the line first, then move your square up to where you need it and strike the line. And again, always make sure your workpiece is indeed clamped down and secure for safety reasons. We'll clamp on it. So with a standard panel saw, the cutting motion is done on the push. As you pull the blade back, the teeth actually clear out the cut that you're doing. Now to start it, you can use your thumb and just very carefully get the line and just start it. On a panel saw, you always want to start on the leading edge. As you go, you start lowering the saw down. You can use a line on the front face and the back face to ensure that you're keeping it nice and straight. So when you're starting out, you can quite often end up wandering off the line slightly. One thing you can do to overcome this is once you've got your line on where you want to cut, take another piece that you know has got a flat face and clamp this onto the line. Use this face here as a guide for our saw as we cut down, helping us keep that nice straight line. One other thing you want to do is you want to make sure you use the entire blade of the saw, so you're not just, because it'll take you far too long to cut through a piece of wood like that, and let the saw do the work. Don't press on it. If you press on it, you'll find out that you end up cutting offline. To the very near end of the cut, just slow down with the saw to make sure you don't really blow out the other side. Because this just minimises the amount of tear out you will indeed get. If you do find your saw blade is a little bit dirty or binding, obviously clean it up, and a little trick what you can do is just use any sort of candle and just wipe a little bit of wax on your blade, and this will help the blade just glide through a little bit nicer. Some of the saws that are getting very popular at the minute are the Japanese pull saws. Now these are generally a lot finer blade, and these actually cut on the pull stroke, hence the name Japanese pull saws. Now, so all these, you just take it in your hands and you put your thumb pointing down the handle. And when you're starting with these, you tend to use the trailing edge, which is the edge closer to yourself, to start off. So there you have it, the basics of using a handsaw. Any questions, please pop them down below. Thank you for watching.